to get up from a chair and move to another sitting area, such as a bench. And then, like I know somebody personally who struggles from getting from a wheelchair to moving to like her desk at school. And then it's a transport that makes this process a lot easier. And then I'm Erica, and this is Aaron, and Shannon, and Alga, and Austin, and Bill. And we're here today to present a transfer board that we re-engineered and are giving to Career Center. Okay, so today we'll talk about the background and then how we came up with the idea to do a transfer board and the process of designing the transfer board and then the testing and fabrication of it. And then we'll discuss like what we learned and what we think could be improved, and then we'll say a couple thank yous to those who helped us with this project. Okay, so basically a transfer board is a device which helps those in wheelchairs and with limited mobility gain independence by allowing them to move from location to location with ease. So we came up with a problem statement first, which was to help transfer a person from a wheelchair to another sitting area and back. And it was around this statement that we built our transfer board. So the problems with the transfer board given here was that evidently it broke easily, and then when it breaks it begins to splinter, and as it splinters they cut into skin like someone's transferring. So we just wanted to improve this transfer board to one that would be stronger. So we came up with a list of needs first of all, and that we wanted our transfer board to be strong and to travel a certain distance, so not too long, too short, and then there was the size like it would make it awkward or not. And then we also wanted it to be easy to transport and easy to get under the body of the person transferring. So it's from this list of needs that we came up with a list of requirements, and so here we specified exactly what it was that we wanted to do with our transfer board. So we decided that we wanted it to support a maximum of 350 pounds person transferring, and that the tops and the bottom of the board could not be too rough or smooth, because if it was too smooth the person would just slide and then become unsafe to move too fast, or if it was too rough it would take too much effort for them to move across the transfer board to get to the location that they wanted to get to. So we came up with a coefficient of friction for both of those, and for the top it was 0.3 and for the bottom was 0.7, meaning like something to compare that to would be like rubber to concrete. So if you take your shoe and you were like walking, that coefficient of friction was 0.6, or like wood on wood is about 0.25. And then we also wanted it to not splinter, so it would be safe, and include handholds for easy access. So then we researched the present transfer boards that are out there today, and then everybody brainstormed their idea out of the features that they thought were the best, and then these are just a few of the drawings that people came up with. And then from the brainstorming ideas we came up with what's called a pew chart, and this chart here is we prioritize each need, and then the Creekside transfer board, which was this one, was served as the neutral board, and so then we determined whether or not each brainstorm idea either met, exceeded, or did not meet the needs that we wanted our transfer board to meet. And then so then the three boards that exceeded these were the tri-support and the pair and the handholds board, the ones that met the most.
Alright, so from the designs that we had, we came up with two boards that were the best that would like help them transfer. And one is a curved board, which has 3 holes in it. so that it helps with transferring so the person can grab and so they don't slide all over the place on it. And then it also has cutouts to hook onto a chair or a wheelchair so it stays in place. And then the other one is more of a straight design, and that distributes weight so that it is less likely to break. And then it also has a handle on it so that they can use it when transferring and transport. And then here's the drawings we had for the transfer boards. And then I'll pass around the CAD drawings and the hand drawings that we had. So those are our designs. And then this is the list of materials that we use to make our transfer boards. We have plywood, and then some different paints, and then the tools, and then like a sander and router and a file. And then we had fiberglass too that we were going to try to use, but the fiberglass had too many problems because we didn't have enough time to make it smooth enough and safe enough, because this was our test. We did this like pretty fast, so it didn't really turn out that well. There's just lots of sharp edges. They can hurt somebody. So yeah, it would take too much time just to get it filed down, apply enough coats of like the resin, and just get it safe enough to use. And then these are the pictures of us starting to make the board with all of our tools. And for a lot of the people, this is their first time using power tools, so it's like a good experience for them.
So once we were finished with the board, we had to test it out to see if it met our expectations. So we tested all our individual requirements separately with 3 different people, me, Shannon, and John. And we used a lot of different testing methods. For example, to determine the coefficient of friction, we put the boards against a rough surface and used a luggage scale to determine the force needed to pull them. That's how we determined that. Next slide. So this is just a list of the things that we wanted our boards to be able to pass. They did pretty well on most of them, except for 4 of them. There's hypoallergenic and no pollution. We're not really sure because we're not entirely sure about all the materials that we used. We couldn't really find it on any of the labels. We could not tell if it does on splinter of chalk because we don't want to risk destroying the thing we made to test it. And we don't know about the max weight. The blue board pass, we just use people. We don't have very heavy weights to use. So we tested the gray board up to 200 pounds. We didn't think it could really take very much more. Overall, the team is satisfied with the way that the board came out. The design is pretty good looking, you can tell. And they're relatively strong for a transfer board. However, there are many things that we think could be improved, such as you can see on the gray one, we put hooks in it. That's designed to latch onto like holes in the armrest. It turns out it doesn't really latch onto any chairs. We didn't really do any testing as to the dimensions of those. Also, the testing could have been a bit more thorough. We didn't have a lot of time. Like, we could have done a drop test. And we should have kept track of the things we were using to make the transfer board.
Alright, so some things we learned from the transfer board project is there's just lots of steps it takes to get through the engineering process of creating something. You have to come up with all your requirements and needs, and then from there you have to make your design and make it, and then you get lots of problems that you have to just like figure out what you got to do with them. and then finally you come out with your finished product. And then it was also many of our team members' first time using power tools, and that was good. And then we also learned about all the different kinds of transfer boards that there are for different people's needs. And then some things that we would recommend is we think the fiberglass is a good idea, but to make it easier to put on, so take less time, we think it would be good to get rid of some of the handles and then make the corners a little bit smaller radius so that it's easier to put the fiberglass on. And then the boards that we have right there, we think it would be a good idea to use those as like for demo purposes at Career Center. And then you could have more to give out to the people that want to use them. And then we just want to say thank you to Eric Steen for giving us the idea of the transfer board, and to Peter Bohl for sharing the knowledge of the transfer board. Also, Ann Gant and Sue Reddepenning for providing additional info on transfer board use and finding accommodations. And then for everyone else who helped us in the transfer board process.